Hi everyone, welcome to today's video. Today I have a very special guest, Claire Paniccia, who is an online business coach for neurodivergent online entrepreneurs. And she is joining us here from Spain, which is so cool and exciting. And yeah, we're going to talk about all things for neurodivergent and online business owners. So, Claire, why don't you go ahead and get started by just like introducing yourself and telling us
Yeah,
who you are?
amazing. Yeah, I'm Claire Paniccia. My pronouns are she, they. Either one is totally fine. Like Echo was just saying, I am a business coach for neurodivergent online entrepreneurs. That's course creators, digital product creators, service providers, coaches, fill in the blank. And my whole shtick is that you can absolutely run a business that is accommodated to your neurodivergence and still be incredibly successful and be able to support yourself and make money and all of those things and reach your goals. And it doesn't have to look like what everyone else is doing. It can look like whatever works for you. And that's kind of my whole shtick.
I love it. That's why I wanted you here. And yeah, so my first question for you is like, why did you decide to start your own business?
Yeah. So I started my business back in 2017, 2016. I can never remember which one. I had been kind of laying the foundations while I was in this dumb day job, office job. And so I was sitting at a computer a lot, working.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I was doing clocked in work, sure, the
Yes.
entire time.
Yes,
And
definitely.
and and I quit to go full time after 1 year at that company because I had never had like a job for more than a few months. And I was like, I will have a job for a year. And I put in my 2 weeks at that job 2 weeks before my 1 year anniversary.
Nice. You met the goal. Like you checked the
And then I
box.
was full time with my business, and I was like,
Nice.
cool, okay, how do I make rent? And I was basically coming into it through like the travel blogger, digital nomad kind of segment of things that kind of all eventually funnel into online business. And because I wanted to be a digital nomad, I wanted to travel the world. And I have always been a little like countercultural. Later in life, figured out that I was just neurodivergent, and also queer, and also non-binary. Like there were a lot of things I didn't know about myself that I was like, "Fuck the man," and I was
Yeah.
like, "Oh no, I'm just gay." Oh no, I'm just gay. Okay.
Right. Right. Oh, it makes sense.
Got it. Um, And so, yeah, I like wanted to travel the world and work for myself and all of that. And then, so I started my business. And by started my business, I mean I did freelance writing because I was good at writing, and then realized I hated writing for other people, and then pivoted to SEO. And I like, I was making my own rent, is what I mean by started my business. Um, but yeah, so that's how and kind of why I started. I think why I have continued to do it is because I am completely unemployable at this point. I have been self-employed for way too long and would not stand for anyone telling me what to do that I did not pay to tell me what to do. And yeah, I'm just unemployable. And also I know that I would never be able to accommodate myself at a job in the way that I've been able to accommodate myself with my own business.
Yeah, there's so much of what you just said just now that's like, oh yes, me also, and me. Oh, there's me.
Yeah.
There's me too. Like late diagnosed. It was
hmm
like while I was working, a 9 to 5 job that like some of this was just really falling into place and
hmm
unemployable and just like all of those things. So, yes, highly relatable. And I imagine that many of us who are neurodivergent will find that part
Yeah.
relatable
Yeah.
as well. So, yeah. So you've done a lot and you've kind of done different things as you were trying to figure this out. So, like, just broadly, can you share some like, I don't know, like lessons that you learned kind of along the way? Like, what do you wish you knew when you were first starting and figuring all of this out?
Yeah. Yeah. I'm thinking back to like when I first started and I thought I wanted to be in the like travel blogger space. And I bought a $2,000 course. And this was, was eating ramen and relying on credit cards and borrowing money from my dad in order to pay rent. Like, I bought a $2,000 course about making courses, and I wish I had known what they really meant, they being all of the days,
Yeah.
by things like proven roadmap and what the testimonials really meant and what the case studies really meant and the like trust the process and like I wish I had been more marketing savvy, but of course you can only become more marketing savvy by doing the do and experiencing all of those things. But yeah, that's I think the lesson that I wish baby Claire had known.
So so you mean more like how to market an online course? Like
No, I
you
mean, I would not have spent $2,000 on that course if I had known what all those things meant.
ah
I would have made savvier decisions, like
I
purchasing decisions.
I see.
Yeah.
Again, I'm like, once again, your answer is like, oh, also me. Wow, like I started around 2016, 2017, and I was going to be a freelancer. But then I came
Hmm.
across all the stuff about like, no, be scalable. Like, don't trade
Yeah,
dollars for
one to
hours,
many.
right? Like
There's no income ceiling. Passive income.
passive
It's so
income. Right,
passive.
right. Yep. And I also
Passive my
spent,
ass.
right. Yeah, I know, right? Like, never been passive.
Listen, I sell programs and courses and shit now. That is my living. It's not fucking
It
passive.
is
There's nothing passive
passive.
about it.
Where's the passive? It's been a decade. Give me the passive. So yeah, yeah. Also, yeah, the online course about online courses and all of that. So,
Hmm.
so okay, lessons learned along the way. But like,
Yeah.
but what do you love? I mean, you already mentioned like, you're able to do accommodations. You don't have somebody telling you what to do that isn't paying you. Um, what else do you love about being able to run your own business?
Yeah. I mean, I love being able to run to the grocery store in the middle of the day when it's not as crowded. But like, my God, grocery stores are so overstimulating when they're crowded.
Oh,
Ugh.
yeah.
I'm ADHD. For context, by the way, I forgot to mention this at the
Oh,
beginning. I'm neurodivergent as fuck. I've got a whole alphabet soup going on. ADHD, autistic, chronic depression, anxiety, spoony, the works. So, overstimulation is a really big thing for me. But anyway, so what do I love about what I do? Um, I love, obviously, I love the accommodations, but I love being able to be like an unfiltered self.
yeah.
I love that I can just say fuck in an email and I'm not gonna get canceled. Like, I just get to be my weird, queer, non-binary, like, fuck the man self while talking about brains and business. Like, what the fuck? That's so cool.
Amazing. It's perfect.
I have a workshop called Ethical Pricing in a Late Stage Capitalist Hellscape.
I saw
That's
that. I
awesome.
was like,
I
yes.
love that I can do shit like that.
Yeah.
And like I love that I've structured my business in such a way that it's like a combination of routine and spontaneity. Like it's got just enough structure in my offer systems and everything in my business structure that things are relatively predictable and consistent in terms of how I spend my time. And also I leave room in that to be spontaneous and be like, I have this cool workshop idea. I'm gonna do it.
Yeah.
And then I do it. And then
Yep.
it's fun and awesome and I made some money. And like, that's really cool.
Yeah. Well, because I mean, life is so hard. Life is not made for us. Like life
Yeah.
and jobs are
I would say life is made for us, but the world is not.
better way to put it. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. So it's like being able to then, the way that you make money can be more aligned with
Yeah.
like, yeah, like who you are inside, your personality, your brain. I mean, what you do is brain friendly business. So it's
Hmm.
like,
Yeah. Yeah.
and you're living that. And yeah, it's what a difference when you can sort of have that life and then and yeah, being able to do chores when it's not
Yeah.
busy. It is not Saturday on the weekend. Game changer.
Yeah, it's
Absolute.
awesome. And if I need to like go to a vet appointment in the middle of the day on a Tuesday, I can. And
Yep.
if I had a meeting, like the other cool thing is that the way that I am online means that the people that I work with and have meetings with are cool with me being like, hey, my dog's really sick and I need to take her to the vet. Can we reschedule?
Oh
I
yeah.
know we're meeting in an hour. I'm sorry. And
Mm-hmm.
they're like,
Mm-hmm.
oh my God, that's cool. I hope she's okay. And
Mm-hmm.
it's awesome.
Yeah. Yeah. Ah, I love that about it as well. So, um, so kind of like we were talking about earlier with like, listening to the gurus, like the experts,
Mm,
especially when we got started. Like, what are some things that you've noticed that's like considered standard business advice that maybe doesn't actually work as well? I mean, it's like not everyone is the same. It's on a monolith and all that. But
yeah.
like, have you noticed anything where it's kind of like everybody says to do A, but typically neurodivergence, like that kind of backfires a little bit or doesn't work as well? Anything like that?
Yeah, it's funny because I actually used to have like an answer to this question and have since decided that I don't like it.
Nice.
My previous answer I used to have like this and this and this.
Yeah.
But actually nowadays I'm more like, listen, I don't really think there's any such thing as bad advice. I think there's advice that works for some people and not others. And that's especially true for neurodivergent people because listen, even within the same neurotype, you've met
Yeah.
one ADHD person, you've met one ADHD person. You've met one autist, you've met one autist. And like what is true for one autistic person is not true for the other. And that's true across all of humanity, but it's
Hmm. Hmm.
especially true, I think, for neurodivergent people. And I think one of the issues regarding these like standard practices or best advice or like, here's what you have to do to be successful in 2026, whatever the bullshit of the month is on Instagram, is that we're also especially susceptible to that because we've grown up, especially those of us who are late diagnosed or like only realized as adults, is that we've grown up and become adults in a world that has consistently told us that we're not enough in one way or another, that we're not smart enough, we're not good enough, we're not
Hmm.
capable enough, we're not reliable enough. And so we don't trust ourselves to make decisions about our businesses. And so we end up outsourcing every decision to whatever's hot on Instagram right now.
That just describes so much of me as well. Like that hit me deep, like really just
Yeah,
made
I
me
could see it.
speechless.
I could
Like
see it like the anime arrows like piercing your like
like oh look, there goes
yeah.
my camera. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, so it's almost like it's not a piece of advice that can backfire. It's literally the idea that there is standard business advice that works for everybody.
Yeah.
Like that's what
Yeah,
backfires, just
exactly.
this idea of that even being a thing
Hmm.
versus just, finding what works for you like
Yep.
what you like.
Exactly. Exactly.
Ah, thank you
And
for that,
like
Claire.
making decisions about your business from a place of self-awareness and self-trust. And that's where you really start seeing shit happen for your business.
Powerful. Thank you for that. And I hope people
Yeah.
watching it also went, oh, that's so
Yeah.
all right. So, I mean, maybe this ties into actually sort of like this next question I wanted to ask about like what assumptions have you seen neurodivergent business owners make? I mean, you just busted one for me, which is like standard business advice works for me. So maybe
Yeah.
maybe that's the answer, but is there anything else?
Yeah, I was gonna say, I mean, like, I think the big one that I see is that someone else has the secret to their success or the secret to unlocking their next level. Like nowadays, when I buy courses, I buy them from more of a place of professional curiosity, like as a peer in the space teaching business as well. I'm like, oh, what interesting nugget can I get from this person? And less from a like, oh my God, I need to buy this because otherwise I'm not going to be successful. And
Oh,
like I I think that's a huge assumption that a lot of neurodivergent entrepreneurs make is that they need to buy these courses in order to be successful, you need to buy courses in order to learn skills.
Yes.
And like buying courses is a fabulous way to learn skills. It's my favorite way to learn new skills and new
Same.
things and
Same.
whatever.
Hmm.
Or to like get yourself thinking outside the box of like maybe this person is thinking in a way that you hadn't thought of.
Hmm.
But in terms of like, I need this course in order to finally be successful, I don't think that's the answer because like in any conversations that I've had with my coaching clients, so my program is called Brain Friendly Business, and I work with a lot of neurodivergent entrepreneurs who have all kinds of different businesses. I have a like e-commerce tea business. I have a therapist who's pivoting to be a web designer. I have a therapist who wants to grow her therapy practice. I have a like declutterer turned coach. Like I have all kinds of people in there, and it's not about the business model. It's about like getting them to the point where they can trust themselves and trust their instincts about themselves and getting to a point where like when shit hits the fan or when something happens, feeling grounded and resourced enough to not be completely thrown off by it. That's when shit really starts going and you really start gaining momentum and stuff.
Ooh.
And I think like that's something that nobody really talks about, and probably I should talk about more, is that like you don't like I love learning courses to learn specific strategies, to
Hmm.
learn a specific thing that you want to try. I don't like courses as keys to successes
Yeah. Because
because that's not where success comes from or growth or whatever it is that you're working towards. That comes from inner knowing. And that sounds so like woo. But like, there's some times where it's like you see a thing or you do a thing and you're just like, no, capital K, no,
mhm.
that that's the right decision.
Yeah.
And that's it's possible to always feel like that.
Yeah.
And I think that's my answer to the question
Ooh,
is that
cool.
like you assume that those moments are rare and they don't have to be.
Ooh. Ooh. So I'm
That can be
adding
every
that to
decision.
I'm adding that to my lessons learned. Like, oh, Claire. Oh, thank you. Telling me my wisdom. And and like you were saying, I mean, I definitely feel that because I've definitely had challenges. I mean, it's been 10 years since I
Yeah.
started. So there's of
Yeah.
course been challenges. And I have definitely just like, oh, like throw it in the bin, like never looking at it again, derailed, like just a complete mess after it. So yeah, I've definitely kind of like experienced those moments that you were talking about before, and just like yeah, all the assumptions that I kind of made was like, that's just instead of sort of like growing or like learning from it almost, it's like I just kind of, I don't know, I was always like doing something new. Um,
Yeah.
and I guess I'm
Yeah.
kind of transitioning to maybe like talking more about like challenges that maybe like this is now getting like like my challenges that I've experienced as a
Oh yeah.
neurodivergent is like, something doesn't go, and it's like it might not even have actually been going badly. It's just like it didn't maybe go as well as I wanted. And
Yeah.
then I just kind of like give up, try something new. I don't try to refine it or do better. And so that's kind of like, this is
Yeah.
a messy way of asking this question, surprise. But like, what are some of those like challenges that maybe you've seen?
Yeah. And that's what I was just going to say is that's
Yeah.
really common challenge for neurodivergent entrepreneurs is that the way that I often see it is like this feeling of like we're really bad at being bad at things.
Yeah.
Like even for me, it's
Yeah.
especially like outside of business, I'm a lot better at being bad at things because I have a lot more practice at it. And have spent a lot of time ruminating on it. In my personal life, I'm very bad at being bad at things. And it's like hard for me to allow myself to enjoy a hobby that I'm bad at.
Yeah.
And I think that's true for a lot of neurodivergent entrepreneurs and business owners as well, where like a launch doesn't go well and you're like, well, fuck, I'm worthless, I'm bad. I don't know if I'm allowed to swear. I'm sorry. I've been swearing a lot.
Oh, it's fine.
Um,
I think it's fine. I don't really know.
cool. Um, like fuck, I'm bad at this, like I'm clearly worthless, I'm not cut out for this. And like, listen, I've had bad launches where I spiraled. And I remember the first completely flop launch where I didn't spiral, and I was bummed. I allowed myself to be bummed for like a week or two, but I was also like, it didn't go past bummed. I was disappointed. I like bummed is kind of the perfect word.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, what have I learned from this? What's the data here? A failed launch is just data.
Mm.
It doesn't actually mean anything about me. It doesn't mean anything about my business. It's just data. And it sucks because it's also usually meaning maybe a month or two where I have to kind of tighten the belt a little bit.
Yeah.
Like that part sucks.
Yeah. Yeah.
For sure.
Yes.
But other than that, it's just data.
Yeah.
And it took me a long time to get to that point. And I remember the very first flop launch where I got there organically. I didn't get there by like saying mantras or whatever. I was just like, oh shit, this used to be really emotional for me, and I'm not spiraling right now. And that's kind of cool. Look how far I've come. And that was a really exciting moment.
Yeah. Well, and I think the important part is that you recognized it too. Like you were able to kind of see it and name it. And then did
Exactly.
that sort of like change the perception you have of yourself, it sounds like, so that,
Yeah.
if it happened
Yeah.
again, um,
And I think
you can
it's
kind of,
critical to get to that point. Like I don't, that's not
yeah.
just me and like wow, look at me, I'm so cool, I got to this point. I'm saying it's critical to get to that point in order to like go past a few years of business and then go get a job. Like if that is your path, that's fine. No
Mm-hmm.
shame at all. But
Mm-hmm.
if you are someone who wants to be a business owner for the long haul, it's absolutely critical to get to that point.
Yeah. Yeah. I think you're right. Yeah. Because there's definitely those moments, where I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm ready to quit and work at a library,
Yeah,
I love
exactly. I'm
libraries,
like, listen,
it's like
I've had those moments too. I'm like,
like
I'm just gonna get a job in an indie bookshop
yeah,
in
right.
Thailand
Books.
and I'm gonna be happy for the rest of my life, obviously.
So, but yeah, pushing through that is is kind of
Yeah.
necessary. Are there any other like unique challenges or just challenges that you've seen with neurodivergent business owners?
Yeah. I think another one that I see is like we're really bad at taking breaks or like resting and like especially resting without guilt.
Mm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And it's not really rest if you feel guilty and are thinking
It
about what
isn't.
you should be doing the whole time. It's not really
No,
rest.
no. If you're not having
And like,
fun, it's not a break.
yeah.
Right.
Yeah, exactly. Or if at least you're not a zombie and not actually thinking about anything, like, you know what I mean?
Right.
You don't have to be having fun. You can just go into low power mode.
Just be. Just be.
Yeah, exactly. But if you're beating yourself up about what you should be
Yeah.
doing, quote unquote should, then you're not really resting.
Yeah.
And like, especially those of us who are late diagnosed, we're usually inches away from neurodivergent burnout. From masking our whole lives,
Oh
even
yeah.
unconscious masking, and our bodies are screaming for rest.
Mm-hmm.
Listen, okay, here's a story. And this is something that I'm actually kind of grieving right now.
Mm.
So when I like first started my business is around the same time that I realized I was ADHD. I did not
Yep.
realize I was autistic until about 2 or 3 years ago. And since realizing I was autistic, around the time, let's see, for the like year leading up to me, year or two leading up to me realizing I was autistic, I would have these weird like weeks where I called them extreme fatigue weeks, where I would be like whammied with
Yeah.
extreme fatigue, where
Yeah.
I would be like my muscles all felt sore and I was like fluey in terms of body fatigue. And in terms of like, it took every spoon I had just to shower and feed myself.
Mm-hmm.
And otherwise, that was it. That was all I was doing that day.
Mm-hmm.
And it would be a week of this, and then I would be normal. and I got my blood work done. I went to the doctor. I went to another doctor. I went to another doctor, and everyone was like, "You're fine. There's nothing wrong with you." And I'm like, "There's clearly something wrong with me. This isn't normal for me."
Right.
And then I realized I was autistic, and I realized literally the other day, I was like, "Wait, that hasn't happened since I realized I was autistic." And I don't know if you've ever heard of autistic skill regression,
Hmm. Oh yeah.
but it's
But
this
just in
concept.
case,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Just in case, dear listener, uh, it's this
Yeah.
concept that like when you realize you're autistic, and correct me if I'm saying this wrong or if I'm understanding incorrectly,
Hmm.
based on your understanding of it, Echo.
Hmm.
But basically, it's the idea that when you realize you're autistic, your nervous system kind of goes, "Oh, thank God, I can let go of all of these things that I've been holding with a death grip." And suddenly, things that you could do just fine, you
Hmm.
can't do anymore,
Hmm.
are suddenly too overstimulating or too
Yep.
overwhelming.
Yep.
And like literally the other day, I was like, I miss who I was when I was 27,
Hmm. Hmm.
but also I can't be that person anymore
Yeah.
because now I know I'm autistic
Yep.
and that person is gone. And that is really sad. I'm like actively grieving this right now.
Yeah.
And like, but it's also kind of cool because I'm not having extreme fatigue weeks anymore.
Yeah.
I'm not inches away from
Yep.
neurodivergent burnout anymore.
Hmm.
You know, sometimes I am inching closer to it for other reasons,
Yeah, I
but
mean,
not from masking.
right. Yeah. I mean, I
Yeah.
think, yeah, that's like, I do think that's like that's my understanding of it as well.
Yeah.
Like the
Okay,
way
great.
that you explained it, like that kind of that matches. And like yeah, I mean, I've definitely had to grieve a lot of that. Like I used to
Yeah.
go to concerts. I used to
Yeah.
have no problem grocery shopping, like we were talking about, like no
Yeah,
problem grocery
exactly.
shopping. Like going to the mall was fine, going to movie theaters was fine, going
Yeah.
to craft fairs was fine, but yeah, lately it's like those things are just like I just can't do them anymore. And
Yeah.
like and
Yeah.
I've definitely been I mean, I'm kind of in the same space. It's just so funny. Like I have just also been so sad about that. And just like,
Yeah.
man, like what's left? Like I want to do
Yeah.
things like Anime Central was it's like a big anime con, was just here in Chicago, like really close to where I lived. And I like
hmm
went over there and I was like, nope, can't.
Yeah.
Like it's just too much. And it's like
Yeah.
I'm really interested, clearly it's like my thing.
I actually, my strategy for going to anime cons or Ren Fair is I don't take my ADHD pills.
Really?
Yeah. Because if I think about like, okay, if I have like my like bar of stimulation needs, right?
Yeah.
And like my ADHD pills get
Oh,
me
I
up to a
see.
normal level of stimulated that helps me function better. And there's like this teeny tiny cap where it's like, okay, now I'm overstimulated. I
Yeah,
just
right.
lowered the bar by not taking my ADHD pills. And I'm like, great, now I have
Brilliant.
all this headway.
Brilliant. That's awesome. But
And it
yeah,
does
so
work. I wear my loops and I don't take my ADHD pills and I can go to big events. But when
oh,
I'm at my but I'm also
yeah.
like terrible executive functioning. So like I'm gonna be late and I'm gonna be bad at texting my friends and I'm gonna like, I may not get into my cosplay on time.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, it is okay. It's rough. We have challenges. Well, let's
Yeah.
talk about let's do the positive spin.
Yes.
What are some unique strengths that you've seen of,
So many.
among yes. Tell me all
Yes.
of them. Give me the
So,
list.
okay, especially within business. So, like, you hear this statistic all the time of like a gazillion percent of entrepreneurs are ADHD or are neurodivergent. And it's true, that it's definitely a higher proportion than the general population. Become business owners for a lot of the reasons we've already talked about. We can accommodate ourselves. The world is not built for us. We can't accommodate ourselves at corporate jobs. So, like, a lot of us become self-employed for those reasons. But also, one of the things that's really interesting is that, like, innovation almost always, I think, especially in our industry in the online business world, innovation comes from those of us who are like neurodivergent freaks. Like the neurodivergent weirdos are the ones who are coming up with the new cool shit that then becomes this is the thing you have to do in 2027 to be successful. Like an ADHD person came up with it 2 years ago, and now it's just finally like getting popular. You know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely.
um, I also think you cannot beat neurodivergent enthusiasm.
Mm.
Neurodivergent enthusiasm is off the charts and it makes for great marketing because we're so enthusiastic about our offer that we're so excited about this new workshop we just created or whatever, and like all the transformation it can create for you that we just keep talking about it. And
Hmm.
enthusiasm is infectious.
Definitely.
Um, but also pattern recognition, and this is especially for my autists. Uh, Pattern recognition is really helpful for self-education. I'm like
Mm-hmm.
teaching yourself
Mm-hmm.
how to do whatever it is you're trying to do. I remember when I was first starting my business, and I don't do social media anymore, but back when I did, I was doing Instagram and I was seeing the patterns of what people were doing and what was working or what looked like it was working. And I was able to emulate it a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Now, that's like not great, but it's a good start. And then once you master that, you can start putting your own spin on
Yeah.
it.
Mm-hmm.
But pattern recognition is really helpful, I think, for uh, noticing where there are needs that are not being met, which is how you come up with new offers.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I
So, yeah.
um so again, I was late diagnosed. I didn't know I was neurodivergent. And for my business, like presentation design, it's like the signs were there because everybody would be like, how are you, like, where did you even get this idea to do this? Like people were just like not, it was like it does not compute. And like, how are you pulling from, movies and stories and like turning that into an academic presentation? Like, how are you using this to present data? Like, it's just that. And I'm like, right, but like the patterns of storytelling are like the same everywhere. And I was like, do others not see? Like I didn't,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I
It's
didn't.
why you can't watch movies or shows with neurodivergent people
Oh,
because
I'm the
we can
worst.
predict the end within the first 5 minutes.
Always, always. I can't watch previews anymore for movies. Like just with the
Yeah.
previews, I'm like, I've watched the whole movie
Yeah.
now. I know how it ends. And
I
people
already
are
know the
like,
ending.
yep.
I know who done it.
Right. It's like it's all there, guys. Like it's right there.
It's all there.
Ah, anyway, any other strengths to add that you've seen?
I'm sure there are lots, but that's what came to mind for me right now.
Awesome. All right. Well, let's talk a little bit about why I forgot to mention this in the beginning of the
Yeah.
video. But one of the reasons we're even doing this video is because Claire hosts the Neurodiverse um, Entrepreneur Summit, and I'm one of the speakers, and I'm so
Yay!
excited. And it's awesome. Like it's gonna be awesome. And so we wanted to talk a little bit about that as well. So Claire, please
Yeah.
tell us about the summit.
Absolutely. The Neurodiverse Entrepreneur Summit is my annual summit. This is the fifth year of the summit. It's a huge deal. Um, I have been running this summit since 2022, and it's all about basically helping you build your business in a way that works for or like figure out how to build your business in a way that works for your brain and stop borrowing business plans from someone else. So basically everything we've been talking about.
Perfect. Look at that
It's a
loop.
totally free, right? Oh my God. It's a totally free event. It's 4 days long. This year there are 25 speakers, which is almost double what I normally do. Um, and it's completely free. It's totally awesome and amazing. And yeah, what else is there to say? It's fucking amazing and you should come hang out with us.
I You are invited, dear listener. So please
Yeah.
join us.
Yeah, okay, what's cool and interesting to me about the summit is as the founder is that I ran the first one in 2022, which was before neurodivergent business was a category.
Hmm.
I was the first, which I'm
Ah!
incredibly proud of. But also, and like I did a lot of research to verify, like there was nothing else out there like this. Um, but there were ADHD coaches, but they weren't like as many as there are now, and there weren't like piano teachers for neurodivergent people, and like, fill in the blank for neurodivergent people like there are now. And it was also like completely not a strategic decision. I was a content strategist at the time. It had absolutely nothing to do with any of the offers I was selling at the time. I just fervently wanted to do this, and I'm so glad I did. Um, but yeah, it's one of the cool things is that because I've been doing it so long, I, in these events, we talk about things that are way different from things that you might see in other events or from other people because I've been in the scene longer. Not to sound like a bitch, but
Man.
I'm cool.
Like,
No, but
own
like
it.
I've been running this event for 5 years. I notice things that, other events for neurodivergent entrepreneurs who've only been around for like 1 year or 2 years
Mhm.
haven't noticed yet. And that's fine. Like they'll get there. But
Mhm.
it's not about, I mean, kind of like I was saying before, it's not that there's bad advice. It's that you need to figure out how to listen to yourself to figure out the advice that will work for you. And that's what the event's all about is like a third of the presentations are just other online entrepreneurs, literally just like you, service providers, coaches, course creators, digital product creators who are literally doing presentations about things that they do in their business that is different from standard quote unquote advice,
Mhm.
things that they do specifically because it works for their brain. And the purpose for that is not necessarily for you to emulate what they're doing, but for them to model what it looks like to make decisions based in self-knowledge and self-trust.
I mean, like, we need that. Like, that is
Yeah, and that's like
like,
a third of the event
yeah.
is presentations like that are literally their whole purpose is to model this new way of thinking and behaving. And then the other like two-thirds of the presentations are solid foundational business strategy specifically from neurodivergent experts. So you know that what they're teaching works for a neurodivergent brain. And they are speaking specifically about how it relates to neurodivergent people.
Mhm.
So they're not just teaching strategy, they're teaching specifically neurodivergent friendly strategy. And then the other third is like perspective shifts. They're like the coachy
Mhm.
category of presentations that are the perspective shifts that are absolutely necessary for you to be able to get to that point of self-trust.
Nice. I mean, that's a perfect mix.
Yeah,
And I mean, I'm excited. I will be there binging all of it. All of the other all
it's so
words,
good. It's all so good.
all of the other speakers. There we go.
Yeah.
And for those watching, my presentation is how to love and leverage public speaking as a neurodivergent for your business. I think that's my title. I changed it a couple times,
I
but
don't remember what your exact title is,
I
but I'm
think
really excited about your presentation because
I
I know
think it's
public
that.
speaking is something that is very fraught for a lot of
Yeah.
neurodivergent people. Like for some neurodivergent people, it comes very naturally, but for
Mhm.
other neurodivergent people, it's like kind of two categories. Um, for a lot of neurodivergent people, it's very fraught, and yet can they recognize can be incredibly beneficial to your business.
Oh yeah.
And yeah, I don't know. Your presentation is going to be so freaking good.
I hope so. I hope people like it. And I wanted to do this presentation because the pattern that I noticed was like, I would see, like, I would work with neurodivergent clients who were like doing really good things, like things that I would teach as this is foundational. This is what you should be doing if you want to be an effective public speaker. But it kind of goes against some of the standard advice. And so they just felt bad. They felt like, well, it's bad that I do this thing. And I'm like, no, it is like
Yeah,
so
getting caught
good.
up in that standard advice.
Getting caught up there. And so, so hopefully, yeah, I mean, so my talk will be about that, about the strengths that I see, the unique strengths of like
Yeah.
neurodivergence. So I'm really excited. So please, the links and all of that are
Yes.
below.
Yes.
And so Claire, just to sort of end, like tell us. Oh, were you about to
No,
add
I was
something?
going to say Echo's special link is neurodiverseentrepreneurssummit.com/echo. So that'll be, I
Oh,
guess, in the show notes.
yes. Thank you. Thank you for that.
Yeah.
But Claire, tell us more about like, okay, how can people like work with you, get in touch with you? You know, I also want you to have a chance to talk about like a little bit more about your business and services and all that as well
Yeah,
beyond the
absolutely.
summit.
So you can learn more about me at clairepaniccia.com, my website. Especially my all the things page has a list of like all literally everything I offer in my business. I do have a couple of freebies that you might be interested in. I've got one about content marketing. That's content marketing for neurosparkly entrepreneurs. And that's at clairepaniccia.com/neurosparkly. But yeah, mostly just come to the summit.
Yes, definitely come to the summit. All right, awesome. Claire, this has been so fun. Thank you so much for participating in this video today and
Yeah,
they
thank you so much for having me. It was such a blast.
yay! And thank you everybody for watching. Bye.
Bye.